Вітаю. Або точніше, я би мав сказати «How do you do?»
Hello, or should I rather say how do you do? As today in our program an interesting visiting card, we are to meet a famous British businessman, a man of the world, a pioneer in many successful affairs, and a philanthropist.
Справ філантропом. Львів, вулиця Наливайка, 18.
Lviv, Naливайко Street 18. Here is his residence, a huge residence that houses the British Club, an art gallery, a park hotel, and all sorts of attractions. There is one problem, though, of which I have been aware since our previous programs. Gary is a fairly restless businessman. It is difficult to catch him, but nothing will stop us.
Але нас ніщо не зупинить. На екскурсію до
We have been invited for a tour around Gary's place. Access to archives has been granted, but his office is empty. He did agree for the interview, but urgent business outside the city does not allow him to be here now. Anyway, we are continuing our work.
Продовжуємо працювати. Гаррі Боуман – британський бізнесмен, який відкрив для себе українську.
Gary Bowman is a British businessman who discovered the Ukrainian homeland to his mother and father in the 90s. Since then, he has managed to make a lot of good causes. Ukraine then needed support to its organizations, both within the country and outside, in presenting its image. Bowman was asked to assist Olympic team members, including young brothers Klitschko, figure skater Oksana Bayul, and other now legendary sportsmen. In 1996, he invested heavily in the participation of Ukrainian team in the Olympic Games in Atlanta. Now, Gary Bowman's charitable foundation in Lviv is engaged in such matters.
Українською збірною в Олімпійських іграх в Атланті. Тепер подібними справами тут у Львові займається благодійний фонд імені Гаррі Боумана.
From across the ocean, Larissa Barabash Temple shared her memories of helping the athletes. She's an active diaspora member who also did her best to help. Could you please tell me whether at the time of preparation for the Olympic Games in Atlanta, Gary's help to Ukrainian athletes was sudden and unexpected?
Очікуваною допомога Гаррі спортсменам українським.
Менше несподіванка, а більше як золотий дарунок.
Not so much unexpected, but rather like a golden gift. You know, when you assume a great responsibility and someone knocks on the door and says, "I'll do it for you." Personally, I take it as a golden gift. Gary allocated large funds for the National Olympic Committee, but also always took part in organizational matters. He really made sure everything was on a decent level. It really helped us. We have been close friends ever since. Apart from athletes awards.
То нам дуже допомогло. А особисто ми по сьогодні близько дружимо.
Did Gary's help at the Olympic Games contribute to the opening of new Ukrainian legends in sports?
Що Гаррі зробив? Він поставив рівень.
What did Gary do? He rose the level of Ukrainian performance in Atlanta to the one of the best teams in the world. It paved the way for the Olympic sponsors. It opened the Ukrainian sport to the world. This way, young athletes who were growing up stepped into a predetermined reality. They didn't start from scratch, as it had been with the first performances for the Ukrainian National Olympic Committee. In fact, it was to his credit.
Перший виступи Українського національного олімпійського комітету. І тому його заслуга.
What traits, in your opinion, helped Gary to succeed and give a start in life to others?
Гаррі від молодого віку став успішний бізнесмен. Він вмів підприємницьку.
At a young age, Gary became a successful businessman. He has been doing business right from childhood. As a young man, he was very successful, but Gary has always been keen on charity. His success at a young age allowed him to promote his philanthropic vision. He comes from a very educated, patriotic Ukrainian family. He was fond of music and art, and this gave him direction.
Він походив з дуже патріотичної, освіченої української сім'ї. Він захоплювався музикою і мистецтвом. І це дало йому напрям.
Після того, як ми прогулялись по ретро-апарту.
Once we have walked around Retro Park Hotel and visited British Club room, while the owner is still not here, we secretly get into his living room. The living room provides support for our assumption that Gary is a person with a taste for art. Here we can see old paintings and musical instruments.
До мистецтва. Ось давні картини. А ось музичні.
Obviously, this is the room of a man with a passion for music. They say he has been practicing playing the flute since an early age.
Із юних років. А там святая святих. Кухня.
Over here, this is the Holy of Holies, the kitchen, where traditionally something grand comes to his mind. It was where he had an idea of Poker Federation, which is now registered as a sports organization in Swiss Lausanne, where the headquarters of the International Olympic Committee is located.
Штаб-квартира Міжнародного олімпійського комітету. Незабаром, сподіваюсь, покер визнають інтелектуальним видом.
Soon I hope poker will be recognized as an intellectual sport. By the way, Bowman was one of the first in the UK who managed to modernize international betting business in sports. For recreational island of the Republic of Mauritius, he has turned the world upside down in a positive way. In the late 80s, he engaged satellites to create a telecommunication industry with a variety of jobs. The islands hosted a center of international gambling
Безліччю
business.
робочих місць. На островах зародився центр міжнародного грального бізнесу. Із тутешнього офісу нам
The local office helped to contact Patrick Nally, who worked with Gary, and was one of the first who introduced advertising in major football competition. Now, he and Bowman are bringing poker to the level of an official sport.
покер на рівень офіційного спорту. Good afternoon, Mr. Nelly. Thank you again for this online meeting, and let's start.
Yeah, I think we've probably both been pioneers coming from different sectors. My background is pioneering in sports marketing, sports sponsorship, working with FIFA and the IOC and big international sports federations. Gary has been pioneering in providing the excitement of technology as it related to game and in-sport betting and betting developments. And although we didn't meet in our early days, we've met, later in life to where we can combine our experiences in a way of presenting a very attractive offering, which is what we will be doing through Match Poker.
Why do you think he's so successful? Does he have some kind of special intuition, or maybe this is just an unknown talent?
I would say Gary is always at the forefront of new technology, new development, and has been very successful in this sector. I think it's because he's very open-minded in that he doesn't just rely on what he's experienced in the past. He's got a very fertile mind and therefore is always looking for new opportunity, looking for new ways. He's prepared to take a risk. Not many people would, want to take a risk if they've been successful. They tend to sit back and, relax. No, Gary can't relax. Gary is constantly looking for new opportunities and new innovation.
Thank you so much. Отож, інтерв'ю переноситься. Проте
The interview has been postponed, but the interviewee is not to blame. But there is good news. Tonight, there is a charity concert at Maria Zankovetsky Theatre. Bowman is among its sponsors. We have also been invited.
нас туди теж запрошено. Театр. Навчально-реабілітаційний центр для дітей «Джерело» збирає...
Theatre. Education and Rehabilitation Center for Children Gerolo is assembling friends. Every year, Gary Bowman tries to fund and attend this event, to which, by the way, well-known artists are invited. We are here, but Gary Bowman is not. He is late. Right before the beginning, he runs into the hall, has a chat with children, watches the first part and rushes out. Rumor has it that he is having a telephone conversation with the capital about something serious.
Летить далі. Розвідка стверджує, розмовляти телефоном зі столицею про серйозне. Щоправда, він пообіцяв нам зустріч.
However, he promised to meet us tomorrow before leaving the city. We also arranged to talk about him with Gerolo members, but it is going to be tomorrow. Oh yes, business people have tough
Це
schedules.
завтра. Ох, і складний розклад у ділових людей. Мандрівка у спальний район.
We are heading to the residential area of the city to Gerolo Center, which was organized 20 years ago by volunteers from Canada, together with the parents of children with special needs, and supported by sponsors whose names are written on a Thanksgiving tree. Among them, we find the names of Bowman's parents.
Також імена батьків Боумена.
І навіть на сьогодні центр є альтернативою до інтернатних закладів для дітей.
Even today, the center is an alternative to boarding schools for children aged from 0 to 35, even for young people. From the first years of the center, Gary Bowman has been a reliable partner, and friend to Gerolo. This is a man who has always understood our needs and supported us as much as possible for many years already. He is the one who can plug the budget hole when you have completely run out of money. In the 90s, we had a truly troubled year at Gerolo, and Gary Bowman was funding our charity center for the whole year. We love it when he's our guest. Children just surround him, giving him tons of smiles and warm hugs. He is a member of Gerolo community.
Дають купу посмішок, тепла і обіймів. Він такий член нашої спільноти Джерела.
А зараз ми мчимо в аеропорт.
Now we are rushing to the airport to catch Gary Bowman before he leaves for Italy. It's our last chance to meet the protagonist. We have finally got out of traffic jam and we are not losing hope for a happy end.
І на happy end. It's so nice to finally meet you. Tell me, what is the purpose of your trip to Italy?
Well, I'll have to tell you quickly, Vasil, because my plane is ready to take off. But I'm flying to Italy because we've developed international application software for esports, and we're testing it in Italy. So it's very interesting time for me right now.
And another quick question, what keeps you optimistic?
That's it. What keeps me optimistic is life. It's every day I wake up and there's a new challenge, a new opportunity. I really love music, and I don't put enough time into it. So I have to try to plan my time out better to spend more time practicing and playing music instead of flying around testing esports software systems. I don't belong to many clubs, but I did join one club because I found it interesting, and the name of the club is Eccentric Club. It's people that are not normal or not average people, and for me I found that interesting because of the various members and the quirks that they have. That so it's, characters are very interesting to associate with.
Let me ask you briefly, what's next for you?
Hopefully, I can contribute to improve life in Ukraine, to make things better here, that people can finally realize that their wealth is here and now, and they have everything they need. All they have to do is open their eyes and their hearts and a little bit of hard work, and they will have everything that they need.
We wish Mr. Bowman a high and pleasant flight, both in direct and figurative meanings.
Польоту.
Finally, I am dropping in Gary Bowman's gallery. There is currently a new exhibition, and also it is always nice to have a quick word with city artistic elite. Gary Bowman knows how to attract all the best like a magnet. You've been watching the program An Interesting Visiting Card. See you later.
Побачимось.